Welcome, my name is David Klande and I'm the creator of Cars Incorporated. Today I will show you how to quickly create your first car in this game. I will start a new game for that. Now when you want to create a car quickly, you will need more engineers to begin with, so the research won't take that long. I'm hiring 60 additional engineers, bringing me up to 100. This should be enough for now. So let's head over to the research and development department. Here you have a list of your projects. Since we didn't start any projects yet, we don't have any. I'll head over to the body development because that's the first part we'll need, and just start a new project. By clicking on this little picture, you get to the actual body editor. Now this is a generation 1 body, since we're just at the start of the game. Later generations will have a lot more options, but for now we're a little bit limited. For now I will extend the length of the engine room and also make it a little wider so I can fit a 2-liter engine into it. The car body itself, I will make that a little longer, a little wider, maybe add a lower windshield and add a roof. That's what this little track point is for. Now once satisfied, I accept and get back to the screen. Here I will need to add my engineers, so they will begin researching that body to make it usable for you in the game. I will skip some months now. Usually you will have a lot to do in between, but since this is the start of the game when we don't have any cars yet, there's not that much to do. So the research is complete, so I will head back to the research and development department, and you can now see that my project is now listed as a prototype. This means that I can put this part into production. What I need to complete a car is an engine. So I'm going to start a new project over here too. I've given my body enough size to fit a 2-liter engine, and so I'm going to develop an engine with 2 liters. And again add the engineers to develop the actual engine. Pass the time. And head back to the research and development department. I now have some technical data on the engine I just created. It has exactly 30 horsepower, and if I click on one of those, I can improve the area that it stands for. For instance, if I click here, it will develop a similar engine with more performance from roughly the same displacement. You can actually get this performance and the base consumption to a level where it beats the initial amounts of the next generation of engine. So you can bridge the time pretty good to the next tech level. The final part I will need for my car is a chassis. I will also start a new project over here. Since I added a larger engine, I will also need the chassis to be able to carry more weight. I'm putting in 1,200 kilos here and add my 100 engineers again. Again, passing the time. And when I go back to research and development, that part is also finished. I have 3 areas here that I can also improve for future better cars. These will actually have a pretty big impact on how good or not good your car is selling in the market. They also have an influence on how good or not good the cars are going to be in the races. Now that I have all the parts, I can actually create a vehicle from them. For that I go back to vehicle development. Start a new project here. This page is a little different because I can't just start developing. I need to put the parts into it that I've just developed. For instance, the body, the engine, or the chassis. If I didn't research those first, those lists would be empty, so I would have nothing to add and I couldn't make a car out of it. So researching these parts before is very important. You see now that all of these numbers have turned green. This means that they add up, that this car can actually be built. If, for instance, the body wouldn't support an engine of this size, this figure would be red. Right now everything's in order, so I can build and test the prototype. Prototype has been built and reaches a 106 kilometers per hour. And the car is now also a prototype which I can build in the factories. For now I will also give it a short name, so I can remember what this car was. You can also do that for the engine or the body itself. All of these parts can have names that you select for them, so you can remember what it actually is. Now that I have a prototype of a car, I will head over to the business sites and there to the factory overview. I can add my car now. It needs to be in the prototype stadium so I can add it. Also, I need the parts. And it says remaining months for reconstruction is 3 months, so I skip 3 more months. Again, a lot of messages because the factory lines have been redone. Now if I head back to the factory, I can see that it doesn't produce anything. That's because I haven't added any workers yet, so I'm doing that. If you're playing a real game, you might want to add more workers because the 4 cars it produces now won't get you very far, but for demonstration purposes this will do. I can also set a distribution here in order to send cars to other regions if I produce enough. For now, I have a production set up to make 4 cars a month. I go over to the car dealer and start offering the car in the region. I now end the month to see what happens. First thing you can see is that my sales in North America have gone up by 4 cars, and this time I have finally some earnings in here. Of course, right now with all the engineers doing nothing and my worker sales and the material costs I'm producing, I'm actually still losing money, but I think if you really take a look at what you can do, you will be able to turn a profit very quickly. Going to the business sites, I can see that 6 cars have been ordered. I only have delivered 4, which means that I also have 2 awaiting deliveries. This means if I produce 8 cars next month and the new orders stay the same, I can sell 8 cars next month. All really depends on how good or bad your car is, how large the market is. Of course, we're in December 1900, this means that the market is not yet very strong. We have sold 12 cars altogether, but this will go quickly up. I hope you enjoyed this video and have an idea now how to build your first car and continue on from there. See you next time.